Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I made any bone broth videos. I have been very busy with work and I moved into a new place and I've been training still and I have tons of app projects, but still I want to provide some bone broth video tips and tricks that's going to help you guys lose weight and minimize whatever physical symptoms you may be experiencing or any mental symptoms that you might be experiencing, like anxiety or panic attacks, because I'm somebody that's been suffering from anxiety, panic attacks, and all these other physical symptoms, and bone broth has helped me reduce some of those symptoms and made me feel a lot better and more alive. So in this video I want to go over the comments that have been coming in from my previous video, my massive weight loss for doing bone broth fasting. I got tons of comments and I want to be able to answer some of those through a video. So I'm going to do that in this video, so keep watching. Welcome back, guys. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my feedback on the comments that I've been receiving on this video that I made months ago. It was the massive weight loss for doing bone broth fasting. I lost over 7 pounds and it was such a transformational experience. I'll have a link to that video in the description below. And it was a transformational experience. I weighed 139 and then I dropped weight down to 133, and then I continued to lose more weight by continuing my eating habits after my bone broth fast, and then I started gaining a lot of muscle mass after eating some carbs and whatnot. But you can check out that video below. It shows my full transformation. Alright, before I go over my feedback on the comments that I've been receiving, if you guys can like this video, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you can get more videos like this whenever I post new content. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you feedback on some of the comments that I've been receiving. This one's from Fee Collins. Does primary care doctor have to give referrals for the food allergies? And to be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that question, but you do want to ask your primary care physician to see if they have, any facilities within your city that provide food allergy tests, and maybe you might need to have a referral to them. So you might want to just call your doctor or even your insurance to see what areas that's in your network that can provide that type of service. I went to a functional medicine doctor, which is not in my network. It's like considered homeopathic, so that did not use my insurance at all. So you got to have money to pay for the appointments and get the blood work and pay for to go over the results and basically pay for the program. But the good thing about the facility that I went to, that they had like a payment plan where you can pay monthly payments for these type of plans. I suggest doing that if you have symptoms that does not feel good at all and you just want to get rid of the feelings that you're having, whether it's nauseousness or dizziness, throwing up, whatever symptoms you experience, like anxiety and stuff like that. I say just go for it. Your health is so important, and if you feel good, you'll be able to get back to work. If you feel good, you can find ways to make money and you can pay them off. So that's just my suggestion. You don't have to take that opinion or suggestion. Do what you guys got to do. All right, next question. Did you lose water weight or fat? I lost a mixture of both. First, I believe that I've lost water weight, and then after that, I began to lose more fat because I dropped 7 pounds in 4 days and I was using the bathroom a lot, right? I was peeing a lot, have lots of bowel movements, and a lot of water weight was just releasing from my body, so I lost a lot of weight that way. And then when I got off and started eating food, but I didn't include, any sugar, any breads, no soda, none of that processed food, I believe because I was active or moving around, not super active, but I was moving around, right? I was burning off fat. So I lost both. to answer that question. All right, and that question was from Doc Harris. So thanks, Doc Harris, for that question. I got another question from A.N.J. Cooper. I don't know how to pronounce that first name, Ange, I guess, Cooper. She was wondering how's your allergies now after doing bone broth diet. After doing the bone broth diet, I've noticed that my symptoms like anxiety and some of the sleep issues I was having, they reduced. It wasn't completely gone because I was still going through the process of change. So right after bone broth fasting, I didn't like lose my symptoms 100%, but I did lose a lot of weight. And just losing that weight, I did feel better. I was lighter on my feet. So I felt good, but my symptoms were still there. I had to continue to put probiotics into my gut. I had to eat clean, super clean, and stay away from all the processed food. And over time, my symptoms vanished. Well, okay, so they vanished for a couple months, but they started coming back. And I can explain some of the symptoms that come back in another video, and I'll talk about that and why they came back. Okay, this message is from Clover Zelders. Zelders? All right, Clover Zelders. He says, I look great, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Is it okay to eat under your caloric requirements? I was just wondering, is it okay to eat under your caloric requirements? I mean, you can eat under your caloric requirement. It depends on what's considered caloric requirements. You can go on a website called tdeecalculator.net. I'll put a link in the description below. You can enter your weight, your age, about yourself, whatever, and it'll give you your what type of calories you need. But you mentioned eating under your caloric requirements. You can do that, but it might be for another purpose. For the purpose of bone broth fasting, you shouldn't be eating at all. When you're fasting, so there's no food. You're just drinking bone broth all day long for a couple days. So I would prefer not eating at all and just drinking broth, so you maintain, and stay around 600 calories a day versus eating and trying to stay below a caloric value. So I hope that answered your question. Another question is by Michael, how do you consume bone broth? And I consume bone broth in a crock pot where it's hot, okay? So I take a full chicken, I put it in the crock pot, and I heat it up for 24 hours. And then at the end of 24 hours, I take the meat out and I just drink the broth. I leave the bones inside and I drink it hot. And when I drink the water level goes down. I add more water, right? So I refill it. It does cool off a little bit, so it's not as hot as it used to be. So I turn up the heat, boil the water a little bit, boil the bones, and then I kick the heat back down to warm, and then pour myself a few mugs and I drink it. So I drink it hot, is what I do. All right, a question from Jody Davidson. She asked me, did you gain weight after fasting? After fasting, no, I did not gain weight, because after my 4-day fast, I continued eating just meat and veggies. There was no starchy carbs for a month and a half. There was no fruits, no grains, no processed food, so I continued losing weight. A question from Collins, Fee Collins again. She asked, I saw your other video for 4 days of bone broth fasting. My question is, how many chickens do you need to make all of those broth that you drink every day? 1.5. I had a full organic chicken. I went to Sprouts and I found an organic chicken. And after the second day, I also added some drumsticks and even some thighs, a couple drumsticks and thighs into the crock pot to continue my bone broth fast for 4 days. So again, I added the full chicken. At the end of day number 2, I tossed in some drumsticks and some thighs, and I turned up the heat, cooked it for 6 hours, and took the meat out and left the bones in there. That's what I did. So and that got me through the rest of the so about one whole chicken and a half ish. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful answering these questions. I hope you guys are continuing the bone broth fast and you're not stopping, and that you're maintaining a positive attitude throughout the entire fast, because I know it's kind of challenging trying to do bone broth fasting and you're hungry and you want to give up. Just don't give up, guys. I hope this video has helped you, and if it did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about bone broth fasting, please leave your comments below. And again, I got some links in the description below that'll show you my transformation. And also, if you guys want the recipe, send me a message and I'll send you guys a link to the recipe. And I will see you guys in the next video.